Okay, folks, it's Babadinator back in the long dark. We are almost at the new day. We are, I think, decided to leave the guts, take everything else. Going into Coastal Highway. So, today was pretty chill. I spent most of the day running errands instead of doing anything. I guess I was productive in small ways. Took care of some shopping, made a trip to Costco. Went to Canadian Tire and picked up some twine to do a little repair job on our sofa. Our sofa has this, one of the, there's like a sag in the middle of it, and when I opened up the underside of the sofa, I found out that there was a part of this suspension system of it. It depends on a set of cords that run across the bottom. Like there's the springs, but then there's also these cords that apply this tension across the whole thing at the bottom. Anyways, one of them had snapped in a particular place, and I bought some twine and I kind of rigged up a system to turn the tension to the middle. And so far it seems to be working. I think it's a little squeaky now, but other than that, it's not too bad. For the most part, it's not too bad. It doesn't sag in the middle. No, there's more support now. So yeah, so that's a little fix I made. Feeling handy. And did some research for Monday. Monday is holiday for us in Canada. It's Easter Monday. But it also happens to be my birthday. The combination of having no work, because it's a statutory holiday. So no work, whole day off, my birthday, but then also not really having a lot of people locally. Most people I have been going to school with have just graduated, so they're not really around, or they're focused, if they are around, they're focused on moving, getting ready to move, or job search stuff. So it's going to be a low-key birthday. But I figured I'd do it on stream, and Roller made the suggestion that I should do a daytime stream, longer stream, where I just do solo RPGs. So I started looking into which ones I wanted to do, and I found a few. I didn't spend very much money. I spent a total of $10, which was kind of the budget that was given me by Roller, so works out. So yeah, it's Monday. Monday we'll probably be doing some streaming. Usually I have Mondays off, but I will take Mondays off of work instead this time. Stream during the day. Don't know if I'll stream at night. May also do like a thing where people can drop in and hang out. We'll see. But yeah, it's a long weekend, so I have no idea who's going to be hanging out with us tonight. We could have no one. Or we could have a lot of people. My roommate's off working on exams and studying. Unfortunate soul that has PhD where the first year is all exams, but also lab work, but also TA. Too much stuff. Okay, we already been through here. Already took everything. We got some feathers. Let's do that. Only one feather? Very lame. Who are you, bear? Uh-oh. I thought about buying myself a birthday cake. Then I thought, I don't really need that much cake. So if nothing changes by Monday, I may just go out to T&T, which is the Asian grocery store. Always has a really nice, there's a great bakery in there for small, tasty things. I may go there and get something, a treat. Yeah, it's either that or just scale up, go to a local bakery, get something nice, bring it back. Not usually one for cakes. That's why I'm hesitant to go with a big cake, because it's just my roommate and I. And my roommate is not home very much because of exam season, so I have to go around.
too heavy to carry.
More matches. So many matches. Okay, what do we got here?
I could use this. Oh, lucky day. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Ooh.
I think I can use this.
So I was doing some research for a friend of mine yesterday on whether or not
Barely walk with this much gear.
it's possible these days to buy property in Canada if you're not not a Canadian. It turns out that Canada passed a law a few years back that banned residential property sales purchases by international non-US non-Canadians. And then the exceptions or the exemptions for the ban are very narrow. And originally it was supposed to expire at the beginning of this year, but it was extended another 2 years. So my friend is out of luck, I think. If she wants to buy property, a residential property in a city like Vancouver. Yeah, not gonna happen unless she's immigrating here. No, we're carrying a fish. We do need to cook this. quiet tonight. If it's really quiet, we may just stream only for an hour and a half. Save our energy.
Sure getting cold.
Yeah, that didn't last very long.
I need to find food. I can't feel my hands.
Yeah, overhead.
Damn, I'm freezing.
Okay, let's break down some torches. And make some new torches.
One little fire.
Hey, Roller. Good to see you. I took your gift and applied it towards buying 2 PDFs. So I have a selection of solo RPGs to attempt on Monday. Let's see here. I'll show and tell. So, I found one called Loner Dungeoneer. This is probably the longest one. It has all these different, a bunch of tables in here. Yeah, anyways, about 77 pages. There is a adaptation for Shadow Dark called Solo Dark, which is, I don't know if you need. Yeah, there's this is a summary of the things that you need for Solo Dark, but you do also have to have Shadow Dark itself, so which I did. So I have that. And then there's a system called Cairn, which has a solo adventure adaptation called Barrow Delver. And then there's what else is there? Then there's this Maze Rats, which is, I believe, see if we get a better Maze Rats. Is meant for group play, but I think there might be an adaptation for solo play. But again, it also has a lot of useful tables in it, so I might take inspiration from that. But we'll see which one we do. So a few different things to try out. But yeah, I spent most of today running errands. I went to Costco early. It was busy, but it wasn't insanely busy. Okay, we're not gonna spend forever here. Costco, and then what else did I do? I went to Canadian Tire. I bought some twine because I figured out that it was possible to fix the saggy middle section of our sofa. We got a free sofa when I first moved here, which was great. It was free. It was a nice leather couch, but it had a critical flaw, which was that there was a sag in the middle. And after some detective work, I figured out there is a high tension cord that's supposed to keep the tension in the middle, which had snapped. So I went to Canadian Tire, bought some twine, and I kind of jerry-rigged a solution so that it will have like new tension in the middle section, so it no longer sags as it did before. Is it 100% perfect? No, it's not. But is it significantly better than it was before? Yes. Yeah, twine. I use twine. I use twine to solve all sorts of problems, right? Yeah. Friday night I ran, it was D&D night, but what we were doing was we were doing the party had come to a frontier town where there were gladiator fights happening, and so of course they wanted to, I gave them sort of the ability to trait their own gladiators to compete in the arena. So we did that. And it was a modified version of my my crab fight battle arena system. And one of the interesting things that came out of it is that these gladiator fights are much more entertaining when it's crabs. The reskin version with just regular gladiators was okay, but not as compelling. The silly crab-themed puns and powers and everything else, that really was fun. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a little time this summer remaking the game, like start over from scratch and see if I can build it as a card game. And make it less dependent on like a D20 system or a D&D system. So it won't be based on, it'll just, rely on the card mechanics and dice rolls, but maybe less dice rolling and more card rolling or card drawing. But yeah, they had fun. They just thought the crab fight one was a little bit better. So part of it is because when you have humanoid gladiators, then you kind of believe that all the powers, there's this assumption that all the powers and abilities are going to somehow be a natural product of, or like a natural outcome of the training of the gladiator in some way. But with the crabs, it's clearly all like battle bots. Everything's been added on, and there may be things that are ridiculously overpowered just because. And you just accept it. So I think that's kind of the flaw in the gladiator system, is that you feel like everything has to be organic. It has to come out of the gladiator as opposed to being some sort of weird modification on this basic structure. Woohoo! Cracker time. Taking us this long, but we have crackers. Oops. More flour, but we still have no skillet. Anyways. So if I turn it into a card game, I will... I'll probably sell it through itch.io. Or figure out how I can do the fulfillment some other way, but... Right through RPG, itch.io. We'll figure out a way to sell it. Probably have the option to do PDF, or you can buy the cards already made.
Good week.
This is called Crab Fight.
Thank you.
No. First roll of Crab Fight. Man, what does it say in the rules right now for Crab Fight? Hold on a second. I have it somewhere. Yeah. Crab Fight. 2 crabs enter. Only 1 leaves. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, there's a lot of the setup can be made simpler using a card system. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then make it easier to understand the game and its mechanics. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Do we have? We don't really need that. Should do some repairs. I was saying earlier before you joined that if no one else shows up or if our numbers are really low tonight, I might just do 1.5 hours instead of my regular 2 hours. Save my energy, and I might stream tomorrow, but I'm not certain yet. I have some stuff in the morning. I don't think my regular Sunday night D&D is going to happen, just because of people's holiday plans. So long weekend, everything else. So there's a chance that I might have time to stream. Yeah, and there's also, I could just take Sunday off and rest, and then Monday I could stream. Because I don't really have any other plans. Yeehaw. I feel like most years I'm a little better organized. This year I was just like not thinking ahead that much. Last year I simply went home. That was the solution. But it was also urgent because I need to renew my driver's license as well. So I had to get a new photo done. So. Okay, we're pretty much all repaired up here. Okay, let's see what we got here. We don't need to carry two of these. We'll have the cursed one first.
What a way to die.
Oh, it's my first time getting food poisoning from maple syrup. Apparently you can get food poisoning from that. Who knew? It's sugar water. It's not real maple syrup.
I could eat a horse.
47. They're really heavy. That one's done. No, we forgot to put these down. Oops. Oh well.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer. I could eat anything right now.
beach coming. What do we got over here? Shoes. Yep. Well, that locker's right close to the edge. I don't know if we'll get there. Yep. That was weird. I was just checking the stream and it said it was offline, but it wasn't offline. Weird. Oh, another sapling.
I need to find some place to escape this cold.
I wonder if we'll run into the bear here too. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, we got the canoe.
I've never felt so cold.
That fish? Fish. Can we get to this one? Oh, we're so heavy. Too heavy. We have to cook them here. And we're apparently out of tinder again. Lack of planning on my part there. Let's make it a cooking 3, so fire starting 3, so we don't have to keep hauling the tinder around.
Come on, little fire. I think my stomach is eating itself.
36, 51. Uh-oh. More than was not properly placed. Cool. 3 kilos. I haven't seen the bear anywhere.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Okay, we're going to try our hand at the fishing camp. See if we have any luck there, looking for the bedroll. I think they'll show up eventually, but I just haven't seen them. Oh, he's coming down the mountain. You can see him up there. I wonder if that means we should go a different direction then. Should we just gather cattails since the bear's coming down? We'll gather cattails going up. And then head to the trailer at the top. Wrap up there. Let's see. Yeah. Well, at least I know where the bear is, right? The worst is not knowing where the bear is and then walking into the bear. Then you say, oh, now I know where the bear is. Rawr. And then he, like, mauls you, and then that's it. Okay, when we get there. We still got a ways to go. This is a slow walk up to the top, so. 49. May have to leave one of the flower. One slow enough to fill with unbearable verse. We could. Oh boy. A future possibility for another time? Yes. It is redundant. Yeah, back to my things that I did today. So yeah, I did a trip to Costco. I did the Canadian Tire run. I fixed the sofa. I cleaned the stove top. We have a glass top stove, so there's there's a cleaning kit that my mother introduced me to because we have a glass top at home as well. So I've learned how to do the cleaning for it. So I did that, get it nice and polished. And then I did the research. I responded to a person in my program contacted me because they were wondering why they're having difficulty with it. Applied for a position within my team. Now, I only saw the final candidate, so I never saw any of the application materials for the people. All the applicants, just the final 3. So, but apparently she was in the mix, and for some reason didn't advance to the finalists, which I actually can't figure out why. I have a few suspicions. I think it's just small things where, unfortunately, it's a little bit of mind reading. You have to be able to guess what things you need to emphasize. And if the position is a little amorphous, it usually means that the committee, whoever's doing the hiring, hasn't quite finalized what they really want. So, yeah. So I think, like, from the inside perspective was like, I could see that it would have really helped if she had listed her technical skills by name, as opposed to just kind of categorizing them broadly. It's a small thing, but it shows up at the bottom of the CV, but not everyone's going to read the entirety of the CV. You've got to be able to, like, really illustrate your claims as to the skills that you have. This is annoying. Hold on a second while we go boot this guy. Lock. Alright. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else we did today. I know there were a few other things I worked on. Oh, I cooked myself a nice meal with lots of leftovers for the next few days. I made mapo tofu, spicy tofu, and rice from scratch. Well, I bought the tofu, but relatively simple to make, really tasty. It's an old staple of mine. But yeah, I got projects, definite projects I have to work on over the next few weeks. I have 2 book blurbs to write for something. Really just have to write 2 to 5 sentences for each one. And then what else do I have to work on? I have to finish up I really should finish up this email interview thing that I was doing earlier this year. It's for a feature that's going to run for library association, and be good to have myself profiled there. But it's interesting, from the time that I started to now, I think some of my answers have evolved. like my initial way I would have answered versus how I'm thinking of answering now has changed. So I may have to go back and rewrite some things. Because I was telling Zoe, I think part of is the realization that it may just be wiser for me to market myself as a academic librarian who whose portfolio of skills includes digital humanities and developer, but I am not defined as a digital humanities scholar or librarian or a developer. But this goes back to, like, am I going to end up in a developer role, or am I going to end up in a librarian role, or something in between, or something completely different? We're so slow moving. Okay, we're getting there. But yeah, I think it is going to be a relatively short stream tonight. Maybe I ate too much. Maybe I'm just tired from running around all day. I even slept in a little bit this morning, which was very nice. I probably, well, I could have slept in longer, but I knew I wanted to go to Costco and I didn't want to sleep in too late. Yeah, I think it's partly, you get to the end of the term, and I've been warning my roommate that she needs to get enough sleep because otherwise, as soon as she wraps up her last exam, she's going to get sick, which is no fun because her parents are visiting, so last thing you want. Your vacation's supposed to start when you're sick. Yeah. Yeah, don't get sick just before your vacation. Okay. The noises you're making are not bear noises. That's a good noise. And it's funny, when I split my time between playing Skyrim and playing The Long Dark, every so often in Long Dark, I turn around hoping that I'll have a follower nearby that I can just hand off a whole bunch of stuff so I'm not so encumbered. Yeah. Doesn't work like that in Long Dark. There's no one to hand off your stuff to. Someone there? Also, you cannot defeat a bear by putting a bucket on its head. Oh, come on. Start the fire. Great Bear War? Well, that is weird. Oh, did we overshoot? We were so tired we overshot the cabin. Good job, folks. I don't expect to find a bedroll here, but hey, we might as well check. We will have to make more torches. That will use some of our fire.
Come on, little fire. I can barely walk with this much gear.
What can we drop? Well, we can eat this. I think we give up on one of these. It's too much work to carry two of them. We still have this too. Also, unnecessary labor. Nice to have, but probably too much. Okay.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Yeah, I think we're going to wrap up at this location instead. Maybe. Okay. Tired.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Okay.
Okay.
We also have to plan for the possibility of getting stuck in the ravine. So we need to make certain we have at least 5 pieces of cloth. Nothing else can be crafted. So we'll leave that there. That failed. Too dark. Yep. Okay, let's repair this again.
Yeah, all I can think about is food.
Oof, failed. Okay. But this is +8 plus 0.4, 0.8.4 versus that. So I think this is slightly better now.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, so feeling a little tired tonight, so I think we'll set this up for our save here. So we are on day 19. So we didn't get too far. We just spent 2 days here. Okay. Okay, so day 19, which we will pick up again on a different night. Most likely Tuesday night. We'll see. Okay. Poem from someone I know. Would be good for this. Okay. So this is from one of my old professors, Christopher Buckley, who was one of my creative writing professors at UC Riverside during my MFA. So in this collection, Sky, published back in 2004 by Sheep Meadow Press, includes a poem which I was just flipping through, and I looked at the title and I thought, okay, I probably should read this. So this is Desert Song at 52. So Monday I turned 51, so this is not me yet, but getting there. By now I know the obligations of wind, steadily, if randomly unknotting the infinitesimal strings of the flesh, all the invisible retractions adding up eventually to nothing. Finally, I have taken contentment upon my back and walked out over the hills, too late for the vestiges of unadorned wisdom, improbable in the old and immutable language of light, almost lost to us beyond the palms. I look into the dark, the small exchange of stars, as if we might someday know how gravity and the electromagnetic force were pulled apart like a milkweed pod bursting out on air, and somehow all the bright seeds were charged to realign themselves back into that first dense fold. For so long, all we required was a little brilliance pitched across the sky to focus our abstract inclinations and assure us that the small ghost ship of the soul would float and sail free into this first realm. We were nothing to begin, and will end as light. Those first particles and their loneliness are all of us, but perhaps there is still some misunderstanding, some dim conceptual cargo that will come back round and redeem us beyond the dark. If I am middle-aged, I will live to 104. What would then be the uses of the mind against the logic of sand, against the molecular deconstruction of desire? Here a few clouds bump off course, a few green leftovers abandoned by an ancient sea tell us nothing. As far as I am concerned, this is the hard edge of the universe, where mountains break down grain by grain, where I try to order thoughts, like a few of the wind's random notes, like dry sage leaves blowing nowhere across the Mojave. There you go. Yeah. I've had that thought too. It's like I am in the age bracket now where it is now irrefutable, undeniable that I must be middle-aged, because I can no longer make the case that I'm just going to live a long life. because now I'm like getting into, I will live a very long life. No, I think I've entered that territory. But I must accept the fact that I have turned the corner. We are in a new part of the race that I'm in. Yeah. Big oofs indeed. Okay. Let's also read something from me. It's a Mia. We're going to read. Oh, we read Ritual last time. We can't read that one again. Refusing the Dark. That kind of thematically fits in. Guess we could read that. This is potentially the title poem for this unfinished collection that I keep neglecting to go back to. Refusing the Dark. Tonight, driving home through what might have been fog or a low cloud, I find myself singing out of habit, or perhaps out of some antique sorrow I've forgotten, nestled in the silent space between ribs, the car before me hidden, a mystery like the road itself, all but buried in rivered gray. Through the windshield, I can see the lights set high over the freeway, burning like great wheels of fire, and yet nothing like the voice of God enters here, only the lingering whisper of pavement and tires, that old lullaby full of disappearing and turns. How things merge unexpectedly. In the wind, the bright echo of stars, the animal dead congregating at the side of the road, their eyes fixed in the past. Everything slows down at the curve. Every heart slips a gear, and the lungs give out at last. The body empties itself in such moments as mine does now, in a single note that trails behind like the memory of fire, the summer that the hills burned, and the sky, black as spilt ink, fills with the names of all I did not know I loved, of everything that comes to the lips to refuse the dark. Okay, that was published back in 2012 in Likewise Folio, which I don't even know if that journal still exists. It ran, I think, probably about a year or two, and then, like most startup journals, kind of faded into the ether. But yeah, refusing the dark. So life is a highway. Woohoo! Yeah, so we'll have that, and we'll save our verse and worse for another stream, I think, because I think we're hit our hour and a half. Okay. So yeah, let's figure out who we can go raid, because that is the thing we do at this particular hour. So I'm finishing almost an hour earlier. Usually I go until 11 my time. I'm going till 10 this time, but we started on time, and then we just kind of ran a little bit. Well, actually, I guess we started early. We must have started earlier than usual. No? We're just... Oh, I think we started... I usually try to start at 8:30, but often I end up starting closer to 8:45 or 9. So tonight I actually started on time, but am tired, so we're not doing a full 2 hours. We're doing an hour and a half, so we're finishing at 10 instead of 10:30 or 11. Okay. Let's pop over to Nemesis, darling. It was in the middle of a blizzard. So much exciting. Yeah, let's do Nemesis. Nemesis, good friend. Okay, so we're finishing up early tonight. Thank you all for hanging out. We will be back again. Join me on Monday for Birthday Mayhem and lots of solo RPG stuff throughout the day. and probably some other shenanigans we'll figure out. Okay, take care, and off we go.